You know what time it is. It's time for another Mapoff. But this time, it's a little different. We're introducing 2 new gameplay elements. Typically, the time limit for Mapoff is 3 hours exactly. However, it seems like in every single episode of Mapoff, we always go over time ever so slightly. So we've increased the time limit from 3 hours to 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds. The second new gameplay element we're adding is the secret bonus.
What's the secret bonus, you might ask?
Well, we normally do a single prompt, but the secret bonus is like a modifier on top of the prompt. And in honor of the barrel videos, this episode's secret bonus is going to be best use of explosive barrels. It's time to choose the prompt. As always, we can veto the theme if we both don't like it, but for the first one, let's go. We're gonna try another one because we're not making a Wild West town. Forgotten War Zone. Do we like that one?
I feel like that would just end up being like a wasteland
yeah.
style.
Remove that.
And it's not like we're gonna make a whole bombed out city, you know?
Yeah. Mining Town. So remake Ravenholm. Nah. Mysterious Pathway. That one was from the last episode and we just rolled it again.
Mysterious Pathway. Ooh.
That could go in.
It could go in.
That could be the first one of 3. Okay, that's the first one. Spooky Castle.
Spooky Castle. Wow. I have some ideas.
You want to just put Castle in as number 2?
Sure. We need a prompt that's doable with what we have.
Underground Bunker.
Underground Bunker.
I feel like that would be the easiest, actually.
It would be like the most building like corridor style of thing. I think that would be a lot similar to the liminal space one, which could be cool.
Yeah, you could definitely do something cool. Castle would also be cool. Mysterious Pathway is cool because it's like...
That one I can see also a lot of potential. Build a sort of level almost that you could proceed through.
Yeah. Okay, that's our third option. So we have Mysterious Pathway, Castle, and Underground Bunker.
I think I've got, like, I could do any of them.
Yeah, I could too. Which one will we remove first? Underground Bunker has been removed.
Damn.
We now have Castle. I actually wanted to do Bunker quite a lot.
Yeah.
But we have Castle and Mysterious Pathway.
Which is it gonna be?
All right. Mysterious Pathway has been removed.
Ooh, so we're doing Castle?
We're doing Castle.
Let's go.
That's the one I figured you'd want.
I'm a bit of a Castle guy myself.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he has 10 million hours in Dark Souls 2.
I love a mysterious gothic castle, the kind of place that a forlorn knight could wander through.
But are you going to be able to make that in 3 hours with Half-Life 2 assets?
Yeah, the thing is...
See, Bunker would have been no problem, because every asset in Half-Life 2 is a bunker asset.
Bunker would be a very prop-heavy experience, where I feel like Castle, you have to do a lot more with just geometry.
That's true, you do.
I feel like that's a part where I excel a bit, because there's too many props and stuff for me to choose in that kind of situation.
Also, there's not a lot of logic in a castle. You don't have to do anything really that crazy complicated.
True. Oh, it would be to have like a drawbridge, though.
You can do that. You have
I don't think I know how to do that.
You know how to use funk door rotating.
Yeah, can you put cables on a funk door rotating?
That's a little bit more complicated, but you can do it.
I don't think I'm going to be achieving that, but...
It's going to be hard, actually.
This is, yeah, I mean, I love a castle, so...
Enough chit-chat. It's time to map off.
I guess so.
3, 2, 1, begin. This is going to be ridiculously difficult because a castle's a huge, gigantic environment, and making a castle is not an easy task. I don't even know where to begin with a castle. I think Gunth is probably going to win this one.
I'm thinking some kind of big castle on a hill that you enter via some kind of bridge, and maybe a river runs around the castle and through some kind of valley. I think that'd be sick as hell.
So what I think Gunth is probably going to do, he's going to make a fun little castle, and there's going to be outside area. That's what Gunth is going to make. I'm going to make an interior. Only the interior. You're not going to be able to exit the castle. Maybe there'll be courtyards and stuff. Maybe I'll do a entrance area. We'll have like a big door that's closed behind you. This is where you spawn. Maybe 2 staircases that go up the sides, and that will be another door into the rest of the castle.
Of course, you gotta have the big tower in the middle. One of my favorite features of like a fantasy castle is like a little side tower off to the side. That's where the wizard lives. And we could have some buildings, maybe a little like gatehouse with the ramparts. That's the whole idea there, I guess. I think a hard part for me is going to be the landscape that the castle sits upon, because that involves displacements and shit, and I'm not like the best with that. I think it needs stairs towers.
I suppose I'm at a major advantage here because I've made multiple castles in Garry's mod. I definitely want a dungeon, that's for sure. I need a dungeon and secret passages. This is gonna go open up and I'm gonna have like a kind of a main hall type situation.
What I'm drawing right now is I'm trying to imagine like this is the gatehouse building. This is the part that you pass under. Once you're inside, there are these staircases that lead you up to a chamber above the gatehouse that has some kind of matriculation that looks down onto the entryway that you could like pour boiling oil down onto invaders or maybe even explosive barrels. So that'll be my gatehouse design, I guess. That's going to be one element that's going to take a little while to build, I think.
I want to have something like very Hogwartsian. Castles in real life are way cooler. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking. I'm thinking Hogwarts, unfortunately. My brain is permanently stuck in Hogwarts. I think Gunther's gonna win because I know for a fact he's a castle master. So we're looking for like, we gotta definitely have a great hall, maybe like a kitchen. We got a crypt / dungeon, cellars that can be connected. What else did they have in castles though? You got like the library, living quarters. Ooh, this is an oceanside castle. Kind of like the one in France. Something like this, you know, surrounded by water on all sides. Maybe it's like a fortress. If that's the case, maybe I should just model the exterior. I don't know.
This is getting really complicated. It's fine. We have so much time. I can definitely build this entire castle in just over 3 hours. Where do we begin? Should I start with the landscape? I guess this is how you do that, is by sewing together like a grid. And then maybe just the center bit will be in the level. It should be enough to work with, right? Surely.
My layout's looking a little too square. It's not looking very good. I think the smart thing to do for me would be to get kind of a coherent design down. But at this point, I really don't know what I want. So I need to just start mapping what I have just so I have something. The rest I can just experiment with later. So I'm just going to begin kind of making this.
So I'm just going to start trying to get everything scaled in. That looks a little wide for what I'm going for. That should be good. And I also want a little bit of space behind where the bridge starts before you cross over to the castle, just as a little place for the player to like take in the view. It's been about 30 minutes and I've only just finished the gatehouse bit, and there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to build all this bullshit, so I'm going to try to kind of recalculate and refocus and maybe do one more sketch of what I think is feasible within the time limit. Making it symmetrical is going to be a big factor in making this a lot easier to proceed with, because that last design had a lot of asymmetrical funky bits to it, and that's just going to be hell to work with, so we're just going to switch lanes here a little bit. I do still want to preserve that grand walk-up kind of thing that I had in the last one, so I want to have maybe this like big approach.
I don't really like the way this is looking. That could be cool, but I'm gonna stick with this. We're gonna make the great hall area kind of thing. Am I doing this again? Am I inadvertently? Oh no, I've done it again. Oh no!
I could have 2 wizards towers and then a big tiered tower in the middle. Oh man, actually I just came up with a cool idea. What if they were 2 towers and this was some kind of central chamber and they were casting like a beam of light to them in the center? That would be so magical and spooky. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that with what time I have left. I don't know if there's like some kind of sprite or something that I can have arcing across here, but I mean, I guess I'll give it a shot. Make it all spiky on the top because it's got to be a scary, creepy castle. And I still have this much in-map space to work with, so I think we might be okay.
This is kind of too wide. I need to shrink this a little bit in the middle. Cut the whole thing, move everything inwards, like so. Yeah, I think that's a lot better. A lot less goofy looking.
I'm gonna put on some bat for lashes. Since this is a castle with very confined spaces, we're gonna be doing 8x8 height stairs. It's just like digital Lego, innit? Just put the blocks where they go.
Thinking of going curved ceiling, something like this. That looks pretty cool, I guess. Kind of ugly. I actually don't like it at all whatsoever. It's totally awful. I hate it. I'm not doing that. Ceiling's very important. I'm wasting so much time on this one room. It's ridiculous. It's almost been an hour since the map off began, and I have like nothing. So I'm just gonna forget about this room and go on to the Great Hall.
Another advantage of keeping the step angle this steep is that as you're on approach, you'll actually be able to see a lot more of the stair ascending, so it gives a better imposing look to the overall overall image. Am I building all this shit out of dirt?
This is looking ugly as hell. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I should have done the exterior of a castle and not the interior. What was I thinking? Why would I do the interior? And I forgot about the explosive barrels already. How am I gonna use explosive barrels at all in a castle? This is rough for me. This is a tough map off.
I would have liked to have the ramparts be traversable, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna really have time to do that for all of them. So these are just gonna be a kind of bare curtain wall. What I need to do if I'm gonna complete this is just work on a single side, because if we're doing the symmetry thing, I really need to stop bouncing back and forth.
I have less than 2 hours left because we kind of have to still be done at 3 hours. But we have that remaining 33 minutes, 33 seconds to, do our stuff. So really, I only have an hour and a half. So I'm halfway through my time. And all I have to show for it is this, which is pretty disgustingly awful. Courtyard's okay. The rest of the castle, kind of yucky, kind of a nightmare. Gunth's castle is going to be so much better. He's going to actually have a castle. He's not going to have an interior, I don't think. He's going to have the coolest exterior. He might get a little too ambitious for what he's trying to do. And I think that might get him, but his map's gonna win. He's winning this episode. I'm calling it right now.
What's the wizard tower gonna look like? It's gotta be something pretty simple. It's like the base or there. Okay, so easy enough. Actually, while I'm here, let me just work on the relationship positionally. I think I'll just block that off with a wall, maybe like an arch going over this, and then one more ascent. I can't keep doing more levels of stairs. That's insane. My original layout was a lot more interesting. Like, it would have different pathways, but I think this is the only way we're getting this done on time.
What if I made it rainy? What if this is like look at the metal? What if I make this kind of like an industrial castle almost? There's like metal bits and it's like lightning energy. I could do like flashes of lightning. That might be kind of cool. That's cheating, I think, using like special effects and stuff. That's a lot of work for an hour and a half, but I think I could probably maybe do a little bit of that, at least one. Probably make the rest of the castle first. At least this whole exterior situation going on.
Let me check the time once more. 2 hours left though. I can just tell there's going to be a lot of dicking around that I'm going to need to do. This all needs to get retextured. I need to make the entire landscape. I need to make presumably the 3D skybox, if that goes according to plan.
Yeah, I'll make the interior. That'll be easier. I'll do like little modules, so that way I can just put it together like Legos later, right? That's the smart thing to do. That's what I would do if we did bunker, because at least then it would be simple. But a castle has to have like, everything's kind of unique, you know?
How the f do I make a cone? I could message Shy. Let's see what he has to tell me. What else can I do in the meantime? I guess I gotta add railings to all this shit.
Look at how perfectly it's like centered right there. I gotta make a border. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of am liking this. That right there, that's the courtyard. And I'm gonna blend texture this too a little bit. I'm gonna paint the alpha a little bit. That's what I want to do. Ew, that's kind of the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Ugh, ugh. So Gunth right now is asking me, how do I make like a cylinder like the top of a castle? This is not a good way of doing it actually, but I don't think he's like making it to like go inside of it. And so this should work. Select top, Alt E, scale this in. So that's how you make this kind of shape. That'll be usable. For me, no, but that just tells me that Gunth is going full castle mode.
Okay, the timer's about halfway through, so we're getting there. I mean, I've only got to complete the wizard tower and the big tower for like the big main parts, and I might just kind of phone it in for the main tower. Let's just see where we get with it. All right, he says I have to make a cylinder, open up vertex mode, and press Alt E. Oh, I see, I can scale. I have a great idea. This is gonna look so cool.
Getting somewhere, people. That needs textured. This would need textured as well. I need to figure out like what am I gonna do outside. I need to just have like walls out here. Hour. I got an hour left and then 30 minutes of polishing. This is nightmarish. This could be a cool like deathmatch map now that I'm kind of looking at it. It needs traversal from here into the courtyard.
I have 24 segments. Am I able to destroy one? It looks perfect. Great. I think I'll do the middle tower the same way I did the side towers and just build it in a nice centered place.
Normally I would not do it like this. I would do it the right way. I am so strapped for time and I have so much I need to do still. People are always like, this is impossible to create in the Source engine or with Hammer. It's like, you can't do it. You just gotta know how to do it.
Final tower decisions. Is it more interesting at this point if I just don't even make it symmetrical? I think I gotta stick with the plan. I can't be changing stuff. There's so much to do. Like at this point, there's a high chance this will just end up being entirely stone texture map. Oh my god, I forgot to put the barrels in their position. That needs to be done before anything else, I think.
Haven't compiled the map once. It could be completely broken and unusable. I want to put a hole here real quick on both of these. That's okay, I can do it on just the one. The ramp, that's something, I guess. I need to test this shit. I need a soundscape for rain. I don't think there's any rain. I'm just gonna have to use a windy soundscape and then add thunder.
I'm gonna take a risk and do some very rudimentary texturing before I go to anything else, because I need to finish the map geometry, which includes making this tower clone. I just searched texture, and that needs to be done just so I have something. Fun fact, the explosive barrels are actually known as oil drums.
Thunder, lightning, rain, stormy, castle, night. I need a sky painter. I have 1 minute left before I have to get on TS. I'm gonna go take a pee, and then we're gonna see. 32 minutes remain. Is your map ready?
It still wasn't enough. I'm still way behind on shit.
I have yet to compile the map.
I've never compiled it.
I'm about to try it just to see. My design was so ambitious, and I'm like, this will be no problem.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They're not all gonna be winners. I will be surprised if it beats mine.
Why is it like that? Are you telling me that this is a unlit texture, bro?
That's a nice 11th hour discovery.
You know, I was just gonna go ahead and remove these, because we don't need them. Two maps. I think this is probably my worst Mapoff map.
This might not be my worst, but if this like loads, it will be acceptable. If it doesn't, I might need to do like an extra thing after the clock stops.
Oh yeah.
There's like some shit wrong with it. Please just work. How do I know if it's doing anything?
How do you know if it's doing anything?
It's been doing Viz for like 2 minutes.
Oh no. Run just BSP and see it. Like don't run Viz at all and just see, make sure.
Well, now Hammer's not responding, so 2 solids not loaded.
As long as your BSP is functional, we can fix the technical, it's not compiling problems. That's fair for you because you don't know, you know.
I haven't spent a decade and a half wrangling.
It's more than that. This is a level. This is a functioning video game. 13 seconds. All right, I'm hitting compile. I'm calling it. My map is busted, but you know what? It's over. We have mapped off. I have a map. It's not a good map, but it's a map. I need to recompile after the time. I forgot to check a box.
Here at Mapoff HQ, we're kind to each other.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a kitchen here, and I'm gonna have like a dungeon. The issues with my map require significant redesign. I'm
gonna call this done. I kind of want to go have a schmook, and then we can look at this.
Would you like to explore Castle Coitus?
Damn right I would. Whoa. There's like lightning sounds. I heard like a thunder.
Yeah.
What soundscape is that? Is that an effect?
It's a random sound effect.
Oh, these doors are huge. Is this like a giant's abode? I see you've implemented these barrels quite extensively. They're not physics.
Yeah, I accidentally forgot to enable the physics on every single one of them. So none of them have physics.
Oh, okay. This is a castle for giants, truly.
We've got a long thing and 2 balls.
Holy shit, it's very phallic. Oh my god, it's like Harry Potter.
I'm only capable of making Hogwarts, apparently.
How hard was that to get all set up?
The courtyard? That was probably the easiest part.
Oh my god, that was sick. The lightning, the towers, and everything. Oh, that lightning is sick. Is this a teleportal?
Oh, you step on it and see what happens.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
It's a jump pad.
High risk, high reward.
But if you're up here, someone could shoot the barrels.
God. Exactly, while you're trying to get the power weapon.
Like that, just like that.
I spawned up here.
You spawned right next to me.
I see, and so it loops back down into here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might be a good deathmatch map. This is like a sour map, actually.
I mean, I think this is a good deathmatch map if you just play deathmatch on it.
But this is very sour feeling because you can't see anything, and it's too big. Yeah, like I can't even see you. Oh no, my friend!
Hell yeah.
Don't kill me. Do you see the major issue?
It's just dark.
If you go out here, you can see through the world. That's the issue.
Yeah.
The world is
It's
rendered
like
over top of it.
I would have noticed that eventually. It's more jump pads.
It does need more
It's like
jump
a
pads.
launcher that goes from like over there across the
Through the
corridor
window.
quicker. It's like a Tony Hawk.
The secret tape.
The only thing about it is the lack of explosive barrels. I don't see. Oh wait, there's
some
two
more.
Never mind. Yeah, that's weird. I just like hanging out in the courtyard. I like the buildings. They really give a great sense of skill. It does feel huge. I feel like I'm a rat. I feel like I'm a Garry's Mod player model. This is like a sewer outflow or something. This like little circle thing.
I wasn't not enjoying myself like I was in the liminal space one where I just like hated what I was making, but I don't like this. I'm not really satisfied with this castle. It's not really a good castle.
Your liminal space one was really creepy though.
I didn't like what I made at all. I like the outside part, but the inside part I was not satisfied with whatsoever. This one, I think my castle, my skybox is kind of cool, but it's not as good as what I wanted it to be. Let's go, let's look at your map now. Oh my god. As I suspected, you're winning this map off. There's no doubt about it.
Well, let's just go take a look.
I can tell you right now that this is an easy win. You even have more barrels. Your castle is infinitely better and more detailed. This is actually a real level, and you have stairs. Yeah, this is what I was expecting. I mean, there's like this weird hole right here.
Uh-oh.
You have like towers. What is this? Yeah, you have like bricks that stick out of the side of the castle.
Little embellishments.
Yeah.
I actually didn't spend that long on this tower. It was pretty simple once I figured out how to do the measurements with like the arch tool and whatever. It was supposed to have a big pointy tip on the top, and
Yeah, you don't want to ever do pointy tips.
I made it use spike with the spike tool.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it did not work. I don't know how you're supposed to do it otherwise though.
You don't. What is going on here? What's that?
Yeah, well,
The pointy bit?
I'm not sure. I mean, these also weren't like loading, and you can see this one should be a legal brush, like these things.
Oh, yeah.
Flat face, and it's literally a copy and pasted thing from the other one.
Yeah, that's a
randomly,
little-
this one just didn't load.
Strange. It's damage from a battle.
Yeah, it's damage from the battle.
Is there a way to get up onto this other area that you have?
No,
Is
it's
that-
just set dressing.
Yeah, you win.
You haven't gone up the gatehouse.
Oh,
yeah.
up here. Is this where all the barrels are?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
so...
where you drop barrels on invaders.
Oh, my... Yeah, you have gameplay functionality added with the barrels.
Castle defense barrel.
This is a real castle. Mine isn't really a castle at all.
I realized my layout was like getting really too complex, and I started building the tower, and I was like, well, why don't I just have two and make it symmetrical? That way I can design half the map in half the time. Like detailed tower took like the least headache. Kind of looks like PPG base.
It does also look like that as well.
The water did not load. There's supposed to be water under the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, there's technical issues, but nothing really that standout-ish. You would never even know there was supposed to be water. You could hardly
Yeah.
tell that half the castle's floating.
I think I did like fix that, and then I had to close hammer.
Skybox is perfect. Lighting, which I assume you just copied from the Skybox wiki.
Yeah, it slotted in there perfectly. I didn't have time to test that, but it made a really cinematic look with the like half illuminated tower there perfectly.
Your soundscape is better than my soundscape. Like, it actually fits the setting. Your map is obviously a better castle than mine.
I think this is an ugly piece of shit, but it's
This
something.
shit's on mine, and it's actually a real castle map. This episode's judge is Ariel.
Hello.
All right, so how many hours do you have in Garry's Mod?
2,000 as sad as that is.
You are perfectly qualified to be a Mapoff judge.
I guess.
So here's the first map. Go ahead and take a look around.
Well, there's a lot of flammable barrels everywhere, which is concerning. There's one of those things.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy. A little bit of a creepy vibe.
Spooky castle.
Yeah, a little spooky. Got some
kinda
wind.
spooky.
There's a bit of a draft coming through here. We got an outer courtyard here. Very nice. Very cool. Ooh. Oh, this is where we started?
Yeah, the maps aren't very big.
Okay. Oh, there's another gun right here. You know what? This, like, courtyard reminds me of SBS.
Oh, of course.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But with, like, a mega church shoved in the middle of it. All right. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice. I like the ambiance. I like the vibe.
Yeah, you like the vibe?
I like the rain. The vibe is nice.
Hell yeah.
I think the rain's my favorite, and like the lightning, thunder adds to the vibe.
That is all for map 1, it seems, unless you want to blow up these barrels.
Yes. Mission blow up all barrels before we leave.
Typical SBS player, standing in the fire. Yeah.
Help, admin. Help. All
Yeah,
right.
You want to look at the next
The other
one?
one?
Next one?
Yeah.
Yep, next one. Let's check it out.
Okay.
This is definitely a castell.
This is indeed a castle.
castle-y.
This is a spooky castle. It's pretty
It
spooky
is
looking.
spooky. Very nice mountains. Oh, okay. They don't explode. Defend the gates.
Yeah. So it's barrel gameplay right there. Barrel gaming,
All
you
right.
could say.
You could say. Little balcony. Enjoyed a little coffee.
A good place for a smoke.
This whole map is a smoke break zone.
Nice little wall here. Could be a door.
It's a Dark Souls illusory wall. No, there's nothing there.
Open up!
There's a nice little
uh-oh.
gap here.
This
Uh-oh,
is
you didn't
stair.
see that?
These are defensive spikes. So you'll stub your toe on them.
Very nice. Good view. Kind of gives you a feeling of
Stunning
just like
landscape.
dread.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing beyond this and you're just trapped here for all of eternity, like to just suffer endlessly. Okay, anyways.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was a door here. That may have been on the to-do list.
Wait, hold on. There is one
Did you
spike.
spot something?
However, there are 2 spikes over there.
She figured it out.
Right.
Figured
You
out the
found
map
a
secret. There's a nice little
Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
way
What's
out
going on
here.
there? So this is the secret exit.
This is like, you ever seen Game of
This
Thrones?
is-
You know, like the moon door?
Yeah, it's
Oh
through
my
door
God.
people.
Anyone who doesn't
Oh,
obey
shit.
just get thrown
Dude.
out the side of the castle.
You can go inside the basement.
What?
Whoa!
What?
This is creepy.
This is scary, dude.
I'm literally shaking.
Oh my god. They got a whole basement under here. There's more basement.
Oh, look.
There you
yeah.
go.
Look, you can get in here.
Huh?
We're inside the main area.
Oh, you're on
we
the
figured
side.
out how to
Oh,
get in.
shit.
Here we got a self-supporting tower here. Very
Yeah.
innovative.
It's dark magic.
Yes.
And now we have the vast wastes to explore.
I feel like a goat right now.
This is so cool. I love this outside area. This is sick.
I like the pointed bit of the middle tower. You could like spike your enemies on it.
Look, I'm surfing, bro.
I do wonder what's
Oh,
down
shit.
there.
Ooh,
Whee!
yeah, there's some surf ramps here.
I'm flying. Very nice.
This is cool.
I couldn't have done this. Probably open whatever program you use to make these and I'd just be like, yeah, never mind. Never mind, actually.
I don't know. That basement's pretty spooky.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh,
I jumped a bit too far.
we're stuck.
Whee!
Dude, it's got a built-in slide. This map's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
Can we get back up? I'm gonna jump!
It didn't work.
This map has a safety net built around it so you can't hurt yourself, even if you fall off.
Good for the emos.
Yeah, it was designed so well, so thoughtfully. This was all pre-planned. It just takes a really long time to get out of here when you go down here. Oh, what are these? Yummy treats.
Hey guys.
All right, so what do you think?
Very nice. Very, very
Yeah.
nice. I like the little hats on top of the towers.
Yeah, they look like Pizza Hut hats.
And it kind of looks like a Burger King crown.
Pizza Hut, Burger King.
That's what you think of Burger
Yep.
King?
Kind of hungry now.
Yeah, it looks like the Burger King crown.
I guess so.
The real question is, which map was the better castle? The better spooky castle?
You know, after viewing this one, can I go back?
Yeah, we can go back to the
Yeah,
other
of
one.
course.
Okay. I spent more time in this one. I feel like I need to go back to the other one. Back to Castle Coitus.
Yeah, Castle Coitus.
Spooky Castle. All right, I'm thinking. I would say, if we're going off of theme, I would say this one is spookier.
Really?
Yes. You know, it's what I said at the beginning, the ambiance. The other one, yes. I feel like, okay, let me get an outside view. Come up, come here. Come on. The other one was giving more castle. This one is giving more spooky.
That is very true.
The other one was also giving unfinished. The other one was also giving no interactiveness.
One had the best use of barrels.
Barrels specifically, I would have to say this one.
Really?
I forgot there was even barrels at the beginning.
That's true.
there was no gun
Yeah,
to shoot
they
'em.
are only used in one place.
Yeah. And this map has them all over the place.
You just sort of bumped them over the edge, and then it was like, oh, well, that's all right, moving on. But
That's the
I will
gimmick.
say what the other one has over this, though, is the castle element. I feel like the other one is more, you start at the drawbridge, you're walking up, massive castle. This
Yeah.
one could just be in a cool building. It's giving mega church.
Just
I have to
change
say
your
which one
prism
wins,
color.
don't I?
The prompt was Spooky Castle, but
Spooky castle.
throughout the whole map off, we kind of just were like, who's going to make the best castle? I thought the other one was pretty spooky, especially that basement that was intentional and not a accidental addition.
I don't know.
Who do you think made this map?
You know, coming into it just because of the courtyard, I was like, oh, I think maybe this is Shy's map because it reminded me
Because
of
it's
SBS.
Hogwarts, basically.
Yeah. It's even got like the upper part.
Yeah, it does have the exact same design.
It is quite literally a copy.
Yeah.
After all, why would Shy make an exact
Yeah, why would I
copy
make an
of
exact
his
copy
earlier
of
work?
Hogwarts? It's not like I'm a one-trick pony and can't make anything else.
I mean, where's Starbright?
That's very true. Starbright does have a courtyard, though. The identical courtyard to this.
Example.
Pretty much.
You
'cause that's what
literally have
people
the
want.
courtyard in that one too.
Yeah. Maybe I can only make courtyards.
Listen, every castle's got to have a courtyard.
It's true.
I don't know, to be honest, because I feel like I thought this one would be yours, but then you guys were like tricking me
Yeah.
with the things you're saying.
Exactly. Just some further information. Gunth has made like 2 maps in his whole life, and I taught him how to map.
Yeah.
So he's a very beginner.
I've seen videos before. I think it was a Mapoff that I watched, actually. There was like boats or something.
That was the first
The
map
first
off.
one?
Yeah.
I watched that.
So I believe that was his second map he ever made, and all
Yeah.
his other maps have been map-off maps.
Yeah, I think this one's yours.
You think this is mine?
Yeah.
You would
just
be.
let her know?
You would be correct. Yes, this is my map.
I did get to the other map and I was like, shit, I didn't make this.
I see.
Yeah, once you start including shit like fucking
Yeah, the
dynamic
lightning,
rain and
the
lightning
clouds
and jump
move.
pads.
There was no ambiance in the other map.
Yeah, it would take me days to figure out how to make some of these features.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little cheap
Even though it's
though.
not that complicated, but
Because I seem to always win based off of like the effects and shit that I put in that you just don't know how to do.
What if you just tell
Well-
yourself, hey, no effects?
I could do that. I could limit
Do that.
myself.
But you know what? I actually think Gunther did Castle better than you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he wins on Castle.
He wins on Castle.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a castle. This is just a courtyard with some towers around it
Yep.
and like a church in the middle. You did Spooky better, he did Castle better.
Okay.
For sure.
I had a much more stereotypical castle with like the ramparts.
Yours was
and
more
stuff.
evil looking.
Pizza Hut towers were actually supposed to be pointy at the top, but
Yeah.
the geometry got cut off because of a bug.
You know what? It would have looked better if they were pointy.
That was
they
the
looked
intention.
They looked like little hats, though. It was kind of cute. You know what you guys should do?
What?
You should trade maps and keep working on it.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
I think
But trade.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting if I gave you this map and you improved it and fixed it, and I took
I
your
don't know
map.
what I would change though.
Well, I mean, there is a big glaring issue that you haven't pointed out yet.
Oh, I noticed.
You noticed the big hole?
I did notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no texture on the outside of the... I did notice that. I don't know. I didn't mention it for some reason.
If you come to the back over here, it actually fixes itself. This is what it's supposed to look like. If you step a little too far away, then...
If you do trade and you try to improve, Gunther could make it more castle-like.
Oh, for sure. Gunth is the castle master.
Yeah, he could make it more castle. You could make his more spooky. There you go.
Exactly. Gunth is a much better artist than I am. He actually has an art degree.
I know how to draw.
Yeah, he can
on
draw
certain
too.
things.
My drawings, they look like doo-doo. His drawings, they look good.
Needs more rope.
He's decorating.
Did you see the vision?
I do see the vision. I wish I could actually see it though. Too damn dark in this shitty map.
You made it.
I did make it, and I think it's too dark.
All right. Well,
It's way too dark.
there you go.
If I improved upon this, I would have it so these barrels and the guns would respawn. The idea being like if you need the gun, you come up here and someone could shoot the barrel while you're trying to get the gun. That was my barrel gameplay.
This one was definitely better barrels.
Nah, come on. The siege defense barrels.
I thought your map would win for sure, Gunt. I mean, I guess you do win this episode.
Because I think this one's not castle enough.
Yeah, it's spooky, but the prompt was like, blank castle. That's the real core thing was
He does
castle.
win. Good job.
Gunt wins.
All right, I mean, I'll take the
Mine was
I'll
spookier,
take
but
the
yours
token win.
yours
How many
was
times
more
has he
castle.
won?
I think this is his second win.
This is rigged.
Hell yeah. You
Well,
take that
if
back.
I can lose episode 1 for not having fog and my fishing docks in the fog,
You didn't lose because of that. It was because I nailed the prompt perfectly.
you did have a perfect map.
Was that your first map?
That was his second or third map. Like,
I think I'd made like a bit of a map before that.
yeah, so that was your
Not a whole
second
map.
You made Stairs 2, which is the best map ever made.
That's a
that
pretty good
nobody's
one.
ever seen except me and you.
Show me now.
Okay, you got Stairs 2 VSP?
Let me see what the latest version is.
Bonus tour.
Yeah, bonus tour. I taught him how to map, and this was the first map he ever made, and it's like the best map I've ever seen.
There's like a painting.
The Escher painting?
Is it called Stairs?
I'm pretty sure it is. It's by MC
painting.
Escher. my favorite rapper.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being the judge, Ariel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Yay.
Yeah, thanks for checking out the maps, you know.
Thank you for showing me around.
Yeah, no problem.
It was fun. I had fun. It was fun murdering you guys. My bad, I couldn't resist.